All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the second part of the show, we are going to talk about the Cincinnati Bengals schedule, and I will give you my early win-loss predictions for them. So last year, the Bengals, they finished with a winning record, 9-8, but they missed the playoffs. Joe Burrow, of course, got hurt late in the season, and they were looking like they were going to go on another run and make the postseason, but that just ended up not happening, and they're looking to bounce back. And hopefully Joe Burrow stays healthy. T. Higgins, of course, recently signed the franchise tag. You got Jamar Chase still, of course. This team, if they stay healthy, they're going to be ready to roll and have a good season. And I think, it's between them and the Ravens, in my opinion, for the AFC North, if Burrow stays healthy. So this is the Bengals schedule right here. And I know we did the Patriots schedule recently, and I had the Bengals winning that game. The Bengals, these last couple of years, they get off to slow starts. I feel like here, with this game, they should win. They're the better team. You got a rookie head coach in Gerard Mayo. I mean, it seems like Jacoby Brissett is going to be the one that starts week one. And he's been, and he can win some games for you. He definitely can, wherever he's been, really. But I just think the Bengals, they're the better team. I think they should win this game. And then you take on the Kansas City Chiefs in week 2. The Chiefs will be coming off of a game at home against the Bears, or the Ravens. I don't know why I said the Bears. I guess because all the B's that I see there, and I just think, but anyways. I don't know why the Bears came out. That's weird. But anyways, yeah, the Ravens, they coming off a game against the Ravens. So we'll see how that game goes. But yeah, then they take on the Bengals. So yeah, the Chiefs got a tough first 2 games. And we're accustomed to seeing this matchup later in the season. And basically every single one of their matchups, Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, they've all been 3-point games. Which I think is incredible. But that just shows you how even these two teams are when they play against each other. Like, yeah, we could sit here and say Joe Burrow is 3-1 against Patrick Mahomes, but the games all come down to 3 points. So here, I think the Chiefs, they get the win here. I think Mahomes, improves his record against Joe Burrow, gets himself to 2-3, and then maybe if they meet in the playoffs, he beats him again, and then, they're both 500 against each other. So, but yeah, I expect this game to be good, but I'm going to say that the Chiefs win this one. Then they take on the Commanders. Rookie quarterback. I think this is a Monday night game. Bengals are at home. Think they should get the win here. You got 2 former LSU quarterbacks going at it. Jane Daniels against Joe Burrow. But I'm going to say the Bengals take this one as well and get to 2-1. Then they take on the Panthers in week 4. I'm going to say that's a win as well. So then they take on the Ravens in week 5, which is a big game. Now, I'd like to say that these two teams will split against each other. The Ravens did sweep the season series last year. And the first game, the Ravens, I think they were up 10. Well, yeah, they were up 10, I believe. And then the Bengals scored a touchdown. So it ended up being a 3-point game the first time around. But the Ravens looked like not the much better team, but they did look like the better team in that game. Burrow was still dealing with the calf injury. Then in the second game in Baltimore, it looked like it was going to be back and forth all game long, and then Burrow gets hurt, throwing that touchdown to Joe Mixon, and he was out, and then the Ravens, dominated the rest of the way. in that game. But that could have been a really good game if Burrow doesn't get hurt. But like I said, I think these teams are going to split with each other. So there's going to be one win, one loss in there. Then week 6, I don't understand why, but the Giants have a Sunday night game against the Bengals. I don't know why the NFL decided to put this game on Sunday night. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to say the Bengals win this game as well. So give them another win. Then they take on the Browns in Cleveland. And for some reason, Joe Burrow has a problem playing in Cleveland these last couple times. He has not played well. So, I mean, I guess I got to say I'm going to take the Bengals and say that continues. Because until you could beat the Browns in Cleveland, I'm gonna have to pick the Browns here. So I'm gonna say that the Bengals also split with the Browns. So I'm gonna say they lose here. Eagles come in. That's gonna be a tough game. That is gonna be a tough game. Because I think the Eagles are gonna be really good this year again. Yeah, that one's a toss-up for me. I'm gonna say the Eagles win. I'm gonna give the Eagles a win there. Now I forget what I forget. I mean, because I did the NFC East. That's either gonna be a win or a loss. I mean, that's really all it could be, other than a tie. That one's a toss-up game for me. That one can go either way. The Raiders with Minshew. I think the Bengals should win there. I like the pieces on offense for the Raiders, and of course they got Max Crosby, and they added Christian Wilkins on the defensive side of the ball. But I think the Bengals should win that game. Like I said, they split with the Ravens. The Chargers game could be interesting. I think the Bengals should win that. I think they beat the Steelers. That Week 18 matchup could have heavy implications with those two teams in Pittsburgh. The Cowboys game, that could go either way. The Cowboys offense is really good with Dak and CeeDee Lamb, of course. The Bengals played there a couple of years ago and lost to Cooper Rush. I'm gonna give the edge to the Bengals though. The Titans, the Bengals did lose in Tennessee last year. I think I forget what the final score was. Titans blew them out. But you got Will Levis at quarterback. I think the Bengals should win that game, so I'll give them a win. Said they'll split with the Browns. I think they'll beat the Broncos, and then that Week 18 matchup against the Steelers. That one. I mean, it depends on if the Bengals got anything to play for. I mean, I have the Ravens right now as the number 1 team in the division, slightly. So this could be for a wild card spot. Yeah, that's tough. I'm gonna say the Bengals do win. So I got them losing to the Chiefs, losing to the Ravens once, the Browns once, the Eagles, and then anybody else. I got four losses there. I got them at 12 wins. I don't know. I feel like they'll get like 11 wins. Yeah, I said the Chiefs. They lose to the Ravens once. Eagles, Browns. I think there's got to be another loss in there somewhere. Maybe they lose to the Steelers. Maybe they lose to the Cowboys. I'm gonna say they get around 11 wins. 11, 12 wins. So I mean, yeah, I think it's going to be between them and the Ravens for the division. I've said that all along. This is the best division in football. So like I said, I have the Ravens splitting with them. The Browns are going to split with them. The Steelers, I said the Bengals would sweep the Steelers because I feel like with Burrow, I just feel like they're the better team. With him, But if you go back to week 1 of the 22 season, the Steelers did win that game. They narrowly won that game. So we'll see what happens. And the Steelers swept the Bengals last year. And that was with Jake Browning at quarterback. So, but that's my thoughts on the Bengals schedule. Like I said, I feel like I feel like I lean more towards 11 wins for them. But also, again, Joe Burrow's got to stay healthy. That's really the key for this season. If he could stay healthy, the Bengals are going to be a problem. And I did bring this up. When he went to back-to-back AFC Championship games, Lamar Jackson got hurt late in the season. Last year, Lamar Jackson made it to an AFC Championship game, and Joe Burrow got hurt. What's going to happen this year? Can we see both of these quarterbacks stay healthy the entire season at the same time? That's what I want to see. Because how is this division going to shape out if that does end up happening? But yeah, they got on the schedule here. There are tough games here. You got the Ravens twice, the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Cowboys. And you have a problem with the Browns in Cleveland. It's just one of those things. I mean, it's like when I don't know if this is a good comparison, but I guess like Tom Brady playing in Denver, like he had a problem playing there. I mean, Brady still won games there, but that was one place that he, at times would not play well. Maybe it's just one of those things. Against a certain team in a certain stadium, you just don't play well. But we'll see what happens this time around. So before we go to break, just want to remind you guys once again to tip or donate and get your comments recognized. Make sure to go to the following link, that is GSMCPodcast.net. Again, that really helps the show, makes the show more interactive between myself, the host, and you guys, the viewers. Again, that is GSMCPodcast.net. And as always, it is displayed on the ticker at the bottom of the show segment down below. So when we come back from our second break of the show, we will talk about Tom Brady, just, some comments that he made about his new job with Fox, as well as some other things, talking about Bill Belichick as well. So we'll get into all that when we come back from our second break. So with that being said, stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.